live. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. If you don't know me, this is your first time here. I'm your humble host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. We are the leaders in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. But have no fear. Like I always say, man. If you just playing NBA DFS in general, don't matter what your style of play is, this is probably one of the best spots you can be in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. Come on over and officially join the gang, man. Turn your notification bell on so you can know when the videos and content drop, and you can be here rocking with me every day, man. Like I said, hit that like button for your boy. It's greatly appreciated, man. It goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and it's a small gesture of kindness, all right? You do good, you get good in return. You know what I always tell you. So hit that like button for your boy. Today we're here with my starting five once again for DraftKings and FanDuel. Well, I bring you 5 plays that's more than likely going to be in my player pool. And I say more than likely because of injury news, late scratches, things of that nature, all right? But before we get into it, we got the lineup review. Going over my best lineups from yesterday's slate, all right? So let's get into it for y'all and recap what happened yesterday. Now, man, that thing got ugly last night, didn't it? Ooh-wee. Man, listen, if you avoided all them landmines out there, congrats to you if you found the money last night. Man, that thing got ugly. My problem was too much Sassa. I ain't drop them just to give me. I had a lot of Sassa, man. Didn't really work out for me. But if you went Hayes, he didn't do that much better. He only beat Sassa by like 4 points. So I don't know what happened with Sassa. I really watched that game. And Sassa, his first couple of rotations, he was scared to shoot. He was passing up decent looks, at least I thought. Passing up decent looks to defer to Alex Burks and other guys. Started shooting towards the end of the game. But we need him to, get those shots up early. If you want to go back to him tonight, feel free. I know I am. I'm playing Marcus Sassa again tonight. So if he get me tonight again, he get me again. But I'm going right back to the well. But this is my best lineup, man. 279. Outside of the Sassa, man, just had too much Chris Boucher as well. That's the thing that makes DFS so frustrating, man. When we got the news Thad Young was starting, I left my Boucher in. I still had a lot of Boucher. I think I had like 50-60% Boucher. I left him in because I just figured, even though Young was starting, I figured fine. At first, I thought that would sway the ownership. Some people would go over there to Young because he started. But even though Young was starting, I thought it would at least, at worst, be a even split, 24-24. But Thad Young ain't played all year, man. All year. Now Purr goes down. He gets the bulk of the minutes over the guy who has been playing primarily as Pirtle backup, man. Just doesn't make any sense. It just was horrible. Too much Boucher, too much Sassa for me yesterday. It didn't work. I got to a lot of Caleb Houston. He ended up being okay, but yeah, just too many guys like that was my downfall yesterday, man. I was on AD. I was on Sabonis. Smart was cooking for me. He got injured. Smart was on his way to a big one. So I stepped on a lot of those landmines yesterday. But my best lineup right here, we'll run through it real quick. Killian Hayes, the super chalk. This is $1.20 max. We barely got any money. Got $1 back over here, but 18 fantasy points from Killian Hayes, not very great. Bane cooking 34%. Told you I was high on him yesterday. Get a lot of them. I had a lot of them. Caleb Houston had way more than the fee. I had like 30-40% Houston because it was so many value plays and everybody was going to Hayes. There was so many guys in this 4K range I thought that was going overlooked, so I wanted to get to him. Caleb Houston was one of those plays. Only 21 fantasy points. Didn't help me, but he beat Killian Hayes if you went that route. Right? Boucher already chopped it up with him. He just didn't get the minutes. He played 14 minutes, gave you 14 fantasy points. I mean, pretty much 15, 14.75. If he get 25 minutes, he probably give you a 30 burger, man. So, just didn't get the minutes. Ain't nothing, not about play or anything. He played 14 minutes, got you 15 fantasy points. He just didn't get the minutes, which I don't know why, but that's neither here nor there. Rudy Gobert here, 3% on, 46 fantasy points, solid for him. Marcus Smart, like I said, was on his way to having a monster game. Got hurt in the third quarter. Didn't really finish the game, so that held him down. Got the Vince Williams here, 53% on. He was solid. Went to my boy AD. He crushed for me down here, man. 67 fantasy points for him. Wasn't the highest scorer, as Sabonis took that title, but very solid out from AD. Let's get over to FanDuel. FanDuel doubled up again. $10 single entry. You know that's all I do over here on FanDuel now is the single entry. They hanging on by a thread, but came in 119th place. Ivy over here, 37% on, gave 39 fantasy points. Marcus Smart again. So a little chalky over here. I went Kevin Herter once he got the start at 45% on. He was solid, even though he didn't shoot the ball well. I liked the Kevin Herter play yesterday. Vincent Williams, 51% on, 28 fantasy points. Caleb Houston again, like I told you, I had too much Caleb Houston, too much Boucher, too much Sasser. That was the story of my day. But that's what the guys, that was the value pieces I wanted to go to. And it just didn't work out because I knew every lineup was going to have 3 or 4 value pieces in it. So I was trying to get different with mine. Now, like I said, I stepped on a couple of those landmines. Desmond Bain again down here, 46 fantasy points. Had AD in here, 63 fantasy points for him. Chris Boucher, everybody stayed with him over here in this single entry. Did not work out. And then Jalen Duran down here, 14%, right at 30 fantasy. He got us some foul trouble. He got off to a great start. Like I told you, I pretty much watched this whole game. He got off to a great start. Him and Sabonis was battling. I'm talking about trading dunks on each other, screaming at each other. I was like, okay, we was in for a monster, but Durant got foul trouble. Only played 24 minutes, gave you right at 30 fantasy points. If he avoid the foul trouble, get his full run, he smashes as well, though. Like I said, just stepped on some landmines, then got unlucky in a couple of spots with injuries and foul trouble. But let's get to the day and what you came for, man. We got an 8-game slate. Both sites dropped the last 2 games to make it a little more digestible for us. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I ain't got to wait up to 10 o'clock for starting lineups, man. I can get it done and rest and relax and watch the games. But let's get into it. At the top, man, point guard. Give me Tyrese Maxey. 8,900. You know the 76ers are without Embiid in this spot. The scoring is going to fall on Maxey's shoulders and Tobias Harris' shoulders to some extent, but this is Maxey's team. He's the number 2 guy behind Embiid, so whenever Embiid is out, we look for him to step up and carry the load. Had a solid game last time out. He's coming around. He's getting back into form. He was playing good at the beginning of the year. Hit a rough little patch there with some down performances, but looking like he's rounding back into form, and they're going to need him to. Great matchup here against the Hawks. Now, a little tougher individual matchup. He may get some DeJounte Murray defense, but that don't worry me too much, man. Maxey should lead the Philly here. I like him right here at 8,900, especially in this matchup. At the shooting guard, all right. Now, this is going to be the play of the slate, man. We know Tyrese Halliburton. Now, this game is going to be insane. Washington, Indiana, this game is going to be insane. Pardon me there. Now, I'm looking at Andrew Nembhard, but we're going to have to wait on this starting lineup. Who knows what the Pacers going to do, man? You don't know about their minutes, especially with all those wing players. You don't know who's going to get the rotation. But what I do know, if Nembhard is starting like we've seen him start in these spots before, if he's in the starting lineup without T.J. McConnell, I'm going to get Andrew Nembhard. They done already priced McConnell up. I know everybody's going there. McConnell is a solid play. But Nembhard is going to be a pivot play for him. I don't say I know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure he's going to come in at a little lower ownership than TJ McConnell. Everybody's familiar with the name TJ McConnell. We've seen him have big games in this spot. You know what he gives you, steal, upside, all the above. But Nembhard, when he's in the lineup without Halliburton or TJ McConnell, he seems to be a completely different player, man. We've seen him in these spots before, and he's crushed in these spots. Whenever he's on the court without Halliburton or T.J. McConnell, it's like he just transformed into a completely different player. So I got interest in him at 5,200. Hope he's going to come in at the lower own side of this. Now, we're going to need that starting lineup. I need Nembhard starting without McConnell in the lineup. Give me some Andrew Nembhard right here at 5,200. Provided the news breaks in my favor. If it doesn't, we'll readjust and move forward accordingly, all right? At the small forward, I want to look at Kevin Herter. Like I just told you a while ago, he just did not shoot the ball well last night, man. I have no problem going back to him, especially in this matchup against the Charlotte Hornets. If the minutes are going to be there, look, he was 2 for 11, 0 for 6, but he still gave you 22 fantasy points. Y'all know me. That's the type of stuff I like. When you can only give me 4 real-life points, but still give me like 23, 24 fantasy points, that's my type of play. I like going right back to Kevin Herter. Still got a gravy matchup against the Hornets. We just need him to shoot a little better right here. I think Kevin Herter is a solid play, provided he's still in the starting lineup. At the power forward, I want to look at Kyle Kuzma, man. This is the spot for him and Jordan Poole. If they gonna have a monster game, especially Jordan Poole, this is his matchup. If Jordan Poole gonna have a big performance, this gotta be the one. It don't get no better for him than this. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma, man. It don't get no better than this, especially without Halliburton on the other side. This game is probably gonna be helter-skelter. I'm telling you right now. It's gonna, man. Get you some Kyle Kuzma. I like Kyle Kuzma at 7,800. Everything bodes well for him to have a good game in this spot. Everybody going to be getting to this game, but the key is what pieces to get from this game, especially if you're going to the Indiana side. They got too many dudes that look alike. So even though everybody's going to be going to this game, it's going to be some landmines over here, guys. So you want to pick guys you're confident in that you're pretty sure about the minutes, especially when you get into that Indiana side. But on the other side, I like Kuzma. I'm going to take some shots on Poole as well, man. But it's just the matchup, the way they're going to play the game. Kuzma's a nice transitional player. I think he's a little better when he plays in transition. So I like Kuzma here in this spot. Getting off the glass, coast to coast, letting them run like that, get up and down. Give me Kyle Kuzma at 7,800. Looking for a big performance from him. He haven't really had one just yet. I need like a 50-plus burger from Kuzma in this spot. I think we can get it here. And at the center spot, man, going to Miles Turner. I'm in this game heavy. I told you the other night with Chet Holmgren, when Washington gives it up to the centers, we don't have any Halliburton. That could potentially hurt a lot of guys like Turner, the other guy, Buddy Hield, if he plays. Halliburton sets the table for a lot of these guys, and that's why he racks up so many assists. It'll be interesting to see how his offensive game looks and how this Pacers game look in general without Halliburton leading the orchestra. But I love Miles Turner here. I like taking centers against the Wizards. Give me Miles Turner at 6,800. Just getting all over this Washington and Indiana game like most of you are. But there you have it, man. You're starting five for DraftKings. Tyrese Maxey, Andrew Nembhard, Kevin Huerter, Kyle Kuzma, and Miles Turner. All right, let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I'm feeling over there. Go and hit that like button if you haven't yet, man. At the top, staying with Tyrese Maxey. He's your thumbnail, of course, man. I got him on both sides. A little more expensive over here, but I'm perfectly fine with it for all those reasons previously stated on the DK side. Get to you some Tyrese Maxey. At the shooting guard, I want to look at Benedict Mathurin, man. He's another guy who's been playing well. He could move into the starting lineup. Like, we have no idea what the Pacers are going to do with this starting lineup. There's so many ways they can go with it. But I like Benedict Mathurin. He's been playing well as of late. They're going to need some scoring here in this matchup. I think he can pick up possibly 30 minutes here if he's playing well. Because if he comes out there, he's playing well, shooting well, they usually let him run. I like taking some shots on Benedict Mathurin, man. You want to be involved in this Washington-Indiana game. Trust me on this. And that Spurs-Detroit game, too. You don't see a lot of plays on here because I'm focusing on this game, but that Spurs-Pistons game, there's plenty of fantasy value in that as well. You're going to want to get to these two games on this slate. But give me some Benedict Mathurin right here at 5,900. At the small forward, staying with Kevin Huerter, 4,800. Love the price tag, love the matchup, love the role he had last time out. If you can get that same role again, get you plenty of Kevin Huerter, man, for a little value piece. At the power forward spot, I have no problem going right back to Domantas Sabonis. Coming off a monster game, is the second night of a back-to-back. He dropped 77 fantasy points last night. And he gets the benefit of walking into another gravy matchup, man. Hornets give it up to the Sun as well. They have for years. I have no fear of Nick Richards down there. It's just about, can Sabonis do it again? Is he going to be aggressive enough? Is he going to have enough energy to put together that performance again? I like going back to Sabonis at 10-2, man. And rounding out at the center, little injury news. Waiting on some Clint Capella injury news. He's questionable right now. We get him out, should bring Onyeka Okongwu into the starting lineup, and you can just give me plenty of him at 5,600 going against these Philadelphia 76ers. But we're going to need that injury news, man. Like I said, if Clint Capella plays, we'll adjust and move forward accordingly. But got some interest in Onyeka Okongwu, especially if Clint Capella sits. He's still going to see minutes. Him and Clint Capella pretty much split those center minutes, so I like getting Okongwu. If you want to go back to Paul Reed as well, I know some of you are wondering, like, why Paul Reed in this? I think Paul Reed's a solid play, but the way they priced him up, I don't know what his ceiling is across the sites. You know what I mean? He's priced pretty fairly. So we'll have to see. He's definitely in play, though, with no Embiid over there. Should be in the starting lineup. All right? But there you have it, man. Your starting five for FanDuel. Neko Okongwu, Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Huerter, Benedict Mathurin, and Tyrese Maxey. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine. That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know any comments, questions, concerns, leave them down below over on Twitter. Talk to me. I talk back, man. That's going to do it for us here today. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.